Hey everybody! Have you ever asked yourself if you really need to be blogging in order to build your practice? And if you've asked yourself that, you've probably asked yourself, why? Well, this week, don't worry about it because I've got you covered with the 6 not so obvious reasons you want to blog if you want to build your practice. Okay, so we all know that blogging takes a bit of time. It takes a bit of effort and it takes a bit of energy, especially if you want to write the types of blog posts that are content marketing conversion assets, not just blog posts that are willy-nilly. And to make sure that you're writing content marketing pieces that are actually going to build your practice, there is a bit of strategy that goes into them. So a lot of people ask, is it really worth it? Is this worth my time? Is this worth my effort? And is this worth my energy? And my answer to that is always a resounding yes. So I'm going to cover today the 6 not so obvious reasons you want to be blogging if building your practice is on your to-do list. The first one, okay, I must admit, it's not exactly not so obvious. In fact, it's glaringly obvious. If you've ever heard anybody talking about blogging, you've heard them talking about SEO. SEO is just a fancy way of saying that Google likes you, that your website shows up when people put in certain search terms. That may be holistic therapy, it may be cognitive behavioral therapy, it may be depression therapist in Nashville, Tennessee. Whatever those search terms are, you want to be able to be found for those. And one of the best ways to do that is to create blog posts around those keywords. Okay, creating blog posts not only adds to a library on your website and allows Google to see that those keywords show up often, it also adds consistently fresh content, which is another ticking point for SEO. So I wanted to cover that one first because I knew it was probably going to be the first thing that comes to mind. Blogging is absolutely essential for SEO and for showing up on the top pages and the top rankings of Google. But there's other not so obvious reasons that we're going to dive into next. The second of which is that it keeps people returning to your website. As we mentioned before, SEO is important, but SEO takes time to build up. How can you continually drive traffic to your website before it shows up in the early rankings of Google? The best way to do that is to blog. Creating consistent content on a weekly, bi-weekly, even a monthly basis on your website is going to have people returning to see what it is you have to say. And the more times that they come across your website, the more time they spend on it, the more likely they're going to be to schedule with you. The third reason that blogging is essential if you want to build your practice is that it takes the sleaze out of selling. And what I mean by that is you don't have to feel like you're constantly hawking your therapy practice or constantly promoting yourself. Your blog, if written right and written correctly, will do that for you. Okay, so creating blog posts that demonstrate what it is that you do, how you actually help clients, allowing them to picture themselves working with you on a regular basis is going to keep you front of mind for clients. And those clients are eventually going to turn in from readers to paid and scheduled people on your couch. Okay. The next not so obvious reason that why you want to be blogging for your practice is that it establishes you as an expert in an approachable way. Okay. In your blog, you should not be using jargon. You should not be using psychobabble. You should be using terms that any person who's going through a struggle in their life would be able to understand. So your blog allows you to be approachable and an expert at the same time. You're not going to speak the way on your blog that you would if you were talking to other medical professionals looking for referrals. Your blog is a way to cut right to the heart of the reader and help them turn from a reader to a paid client. So by establishing yourself as an expert in an approachable way, people start to trust you. They start to say, wow, they really know what they're talking about and they understand my situation. This is the right therapist for me. The fifth not so obvious reason of why blogging is essential to growing your practice is that your blog cannot be taken away from you. If you are using other online methods to build your practice, such as Psychology Today, such as Facebook, such as Instagram, any of these other platforms are run by other people. And at any time, Mark Zuckerberg can up and decide that he's made enough billions of dollars that he just wants to retire Tahiti and he turns off Facebook. Now, we all know that that's not totally likely to happen, but it's always a possibility. So you never want to build your business on the back of somebody else. Those are all tools. Social media is a great way to build your practice, but you always want to have something that you own that cannot be taken from you, and that would be the blog on your website. It is the marketing tool that you have complete control over. You have complete control over the content, how people see it, how often people see it. It's not limited by some algorithm that other, math experts are designing in the back room somewhere. Your blog is completely your own. It is not limited, it's not censored, and it's not going to be taken away. All right, and the sixth, not so obvious reason that blogging is essential for building your private practice is that the content that you create can be used over and over and over again. Creating evergreen and pillar content means that the things that you write today can bring you clients 5 years from now. There is no time limit, and your blog is not time bound. I always ask my clients to try their hardest to give me a year of consistent blogging. If you can blog consistently for a year, you are going to be so favorable on Google. You are going to be so solid in your expertise. Your followers are going to be returning to your site so often to see what it is that you have to say that's new, that you can start to repurpose. You can then slow your blogging system way, way, way down and just go back to your library and pull a blog off the shelf, so to speak, and share it out again. So creating content is a bit of a sprint in order for it to last you for a really long time. If you want to know more about writing blog posts in a way that converts readers to clients, that maximizes these 6 reasons and helps you build a private practice, make sure that you're joining us for the Ideal Client Converting Blog Post Challenge. It's 5 days and it starts on September 17th. And over those 5 days, we're going to be dissecting these marketing asset blog posts. And we're going to be taking one piece each day, writing it together, sharing our experience together, getting direct feedback from me, and getting direct feedback from your peers. We ran this same challenge earlier in the year in about February timeframe, and it was a total hit. And I've been asked several times if we would bring it back. So that's what we're doing for you this month in September. If you want to sign up and join us, make sure you click the link below and you can sign up for the challenge, and we will see you and get started on September 17th. Thanks, guys.